Hey folks, this is Chris, and this is my 2021 Game Changer Pro, ordered in October of 20, picked up June 6. Boon Doctor installed this in Custom Outfitters in the middle of April. I took possession of it on the 5th or 6th of June, drove to Denton, Minnesota, and found out that this system does not work as advertised. This is what we got, and it is now August 11th, I believe, and I still don't have a unit that actually functions. So let me get you up in the unit. I've rigged up this clock, or this mobile phone of mine, so that it can record what's going on. Here we are. You can see the time. You can see the battery percentage is 100. You can see we're on the grid right now. We're pulling 29 watts from a 110 volt cord. Stand by. I'm going to go outside and shut this booger off at the 110 cord, and then we're going to power up this air conditioner. Okay, folks, I have two Battleborn batteries and a Boon Doctor John, installation April 2021. Here goes the 100% batteries. 4% or 4 watts coming in on the charger, because I am in a building I built for it specifically in Florida to protect it from the weather. We're going to turn on the system, and we're going to run the fan on high, 64 degrees temperature. Let's see how long this booger runs. It is 12:48, as you can see here. 177 watts on the load. That's just the fan. Momentarily the compressor will kick in, and when it does, this system will fail, as it has every damn day since I took possession. 12:48, 91 degrees. There goes the fan to high. I mistakenly set it to low. Well, we use 1% of the power of the air compressor, or the compressor of the AC has yet to kick on. Well, there you go. You saw the voltage dip or increase when the compressor kicked on, and this solar system, billed and advertised to run off 2 batteries for up to 90 minutes, does not run 3 minutes. So we're going to sit here and wait and watch till this Victron display repowers from the inverter up front seen at the beginning of this video. Now the air just kicked back on. The Victron display still has not done that. Note the time, 12:51. We have had to spend so much time in campgrounds when we traveled through 21 states on our 30th anniversary. We planned this activity for 5+ years. We studied and studied RVs. I war gamed. I checked RVs, travel trailers, Super Cs, Class Cs. I ultimately made the decision to buy a ATC because of the frame, and I presumed that I would have this for the rest of my life. At my 30th anniversary, we drove from Florida to South Dakota, took possession of our unit. Took about 4 days to do that. First, there was some things that had to be moved around inside, so we stayed in a hotel. Then the second night, we stayed in a hotel again because we bought the wrong sheets. The third and fourth night, we stayed in the unit, plugged into a 50-amp power supply in Custom Outfitters. And we left on Friday and traveled to Denton, Minnesota, where we discovered on our first night, our very first night, that this system did not run as advertised, not what we paid for. We paid $13,312.50. And this solar system has not provided what it was advertised, billed, or sold to do. is that the system uses more of the 110 volt shore power than it does the battery power. It uses 2/3 from shore power. When a system like this is designed, in theory, at least the way I understand it, and the way it's built on Dr. Boon's website alone, the system should run on its own for at least or up to 90 minutes. It should at least run, let's just say, 20 minutes. We cannot achieve that. That has not been observed, that has not been witnessed, and is not going to be witnessed under the current role model. I've asked for help. So we are now at 98% power. We've been running for, I don't know, 10 minutes or less. I'm not even sure, but we haven't been able to actually turn the compressor on, and it is hot in here. You can see on my phone here, it's 91 degrees, 12:56 in Tampa, Florida, and I'll prove that. This is where I'm at. And 91 degrees sounds kind of cool to some of y'all, I'm sure. This is not where Tampa is, by the way. Tampa's right here. It's up in the middle of the state. But anyhow, the humidity is quite high, and woo, I'm telling you, I'm sweating bullets up in here. Let's see what it actually is. Feels like 102. You get the idea. I'm standing in a trailer that was war gamed, planned on top of the cost of the ATC with all the amenities that we chose. We put in a $312.50 for Boon Doctor John's installation, which, as can be seen, is failing. And we are now June, July, August. We are a lot of days away from the right thing happening. So now I'm going to go out. Once the system restarts, I'm going to go out and I'm going to start, or I'm going to plug in the 110 volt shore power. That's what this system is. That's all that's available to this trailer at this point. Okay, you see there's no AC input. There is an AC load, though it's not, sorry, I'm sweating. It's not showing up yet, so we'll wait for the AC load, then I'll go out and plug in the shore power. Okay, here we go. Okay, the inverter has just now taken shore power. It's been plugged in for a minute. I heard the transfer switch kick on almost immediately, but the inverter took a little bit to record that it was done. Here we are. We're going to run the same test, the same AC, same test. Good God, I hope so, because it's hot. Now, what you will observe is that this 98% battery is drawn down at a much faster rate than the AC plugged into this trailer. A 110 cord traditionally handles between 15 and 20 amps. This cord has been tested, and we know that it provides 15 amps. This is a 1500 Dometic AC, to my knowledge. I tried to call Matt last week and ask this question, but I got no answer, no call back. I understand he was out selling more trailers last week, so I won't necessarily fault him, but my problem remains. I paid cash for both of these items, and at my current time, this package does not run. if I don't pay to go to a campground, if I don't run my generator, which by the way has almost 200 hours, in the 6 weeks I traveled in the trailer, I actually traveled in the trailer, but I didn't always sleep in it. We visited our friends and family up north, and we stayed in their houses, especially at the beginning of this journey. We spent thousands on between campgrounds and a generator. We spent a couple $1,000s in fuel and campground fees. So notice the AC load is, it's taken 1,500 watts from the AC. Forgive me, it's taken 742 from the grid, from the 110 power. It's taken 745 watts, and it's taking 984 from the battery. Why is it taking so much from the battery and so little from the grid? Well, it should be opposite of that. The grid, as Matt has described to me, the ATC should prefer shore power. Should prefer it. The transfer switch is there in case something needs to happen with the generator. We've experienced we've observed some times when the transfer switch did not operate as it was supposed to, but I've been keen to keep an eye on that since, and it has not reoccurred. Again, we're pulling more from the batteries than we are from shore power. Why? So, in my estimation, this unit will run, or in my observation, which my estimation is based on, this unit will run sometimes down to 60 or even 55% without hesitating, and then it will shut off. Other times this unit won't run 3% without shutting off. I certainly don't know. That's why I paid to have it done. That's why when Boon Doctor John affronted me February 4th or whatever it was about me asking what items were going in and trying to identify and specify the unit's names so that I would be familiar with his talk when he spoke to me, got all out of uproar about whether or not I was going to do this job myself. If I intended to do this job myself, I certainly wouldn't have, contacted him or included him. And at this point, I have no choice but to regret it. At this date and time, I have nothing to say that is in a positive manner. However, I hope to be able to say that. Oh, look at this. I just got a text from Matt Van Dyke. And he's telling me it looks like we have a bad battery. And I don't know, God bless Matt. Yeah, I don't know why he's doing John's bidding or doing John's job. I've been self-employed for 30 years. I had technical jobs. I have a computer company. I have a pool company that we operate. Very specific, very certain computer operated pool sets. At no point in time have I had a customer feel the way I do, to my knowledge. I have always fixed their problem, and if I don't know what the problem is, I seek to learn what the problem is so I can resolve the problem. I sold my last business. I sold the pool business last year. Okay, the battery went dead, and as soon as that happened, the air conditioner also went dead. Again, low. So I'll go ahead and re-engage it. Fan on high. Cool, 64 degrees. Here we go. Notice that the battery has actually charged itself in the absence of the compressor running. So on shore power with 18 watts or however many watts it's getting from the solar, it's charged itself 1%, 2% now since the air conditioner started reporting low. I have to wonder if Dr. John or Boon Doctor John set this Multiplus at 7.5 input so that it wouldn't trip my GFIs. I'm going to raise it to 15 and see if we have a different result. What? Oh, okay, there it is. Alright, 15. We'll switch back over. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when this compressor kicks on, if this compressor kicks on. The system keeps reporting low. It's shut off 3 times now, I believe. Reporting low each time. And there it goes again. It is reported low once again. Now we get a low battery alert. This is 2 p.m. This is something. All right. Let's see if it'll actually turn on the compressor now. The Victron has reported battery low dozens of times. And I'm talking dozens. In my observations, I've reported this from the first day I took it out of Custom Outfitters. So we're pulling 1,400 watts from the grid, but only 900 from the batteries now because I raised that 7.5 mark. Let's raise it again. Let's see what happens if I raise this to 17.5. There we are. Let's see if it'll draw more from the grid now. In fact, now let's see what happens when that compressor kicks in. Come on, compressor, let's do this thing. It won't even kick on now. Somehow it knows that the supply system will not support it. It has now gained another point on the percentages. Well, there we go. There's our second alarm, 204. First one, it came at 2 p.m. Now the air conditioner is shut down. And look, it is completely down. There is no activity on it whatsoever. We've dropped below 12 volts. Low battery alert, 2:04 p.m. Let's look what the system reports. "64% on the batteries." Does that sound like the batteries are dead or a problem? Doesn't look like it. Is the system failed again? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It has failed. The system was installed April 21, mid-April 21. It was paid for with one single check. The unit was picked up from Custom Outfitters June 5th. The unit failed on its own power, under its own power, which was paid $13,312.50 for, and has yet to actually do what it was sold, billed, advertised, and promised to do. I'm going to go ahead and let the system charge up now. This hour plus test is over for now. Thanks for watching.